Part of our summer culture is that we believe that we hear from God.
There's a step in which I learn that God talks to me. There's a whole nother step that says that God talks to you, and that I have the ability to accept that. And then, of course, John has the ability to speak it and share it. Hey, welcome back to Tempus Divum. And this week, what we're going to be talking about is wisdom. And so we're going to be showing you a couple of videos that come from the Bible Project, and they go through specifically the three books of the Bible that are typically thought of as the wisdom literature. One is Proverbs. Everyone basically knows that. Ecclesiastes, which some people have said is the only book of the Bible that is against the Bible. And the third is Job, which many people would say is the oldest book that goes up in the Bible. So what I really like about these set of videos is that they kind of bring all these three books together because they are not they're not consistent with one another. At least it looks that way if you kind of take it at a surface value. But more to the point, we think that wisdom itself becomes a super critical skill and a part of the way that we should live our lives within the Christian framework that frankly is easily overlooked. So on the one hand, there's this saying that if you have basically wisdom without the Spirit, you dry up. If you have the Spirit without wisdom, you blow up. But if you have the wisdom and the Spirit, then you grow up. And so we really like the idea. Also, I want to say it's from Hebrews, where Paul talks about that you need a spirit of wisdom and revelation. And so this balance between the clear, the clear sort of mechanistic, so to speak, words that we get out of Proverbs, which paints a picture of the world that I think is easy for us to understand. It's predictable. It gives us some guidance on how we want to work forward on things. Then you have Ecclesiastes, which is just sort of depressing about everything. It's just like, yeah, everything you just said in Proverbs, it's all baloney. None of it works. And it raises these really heavy questions, I think, about death, about sort of the futility of the world, about why none of that stuff that seems to actually work. All these things come together. And then you have, and I like the way that the Bible Project does this, and they bring Job in as a sort of an answer to the whole thing without kind of give the topic away. That's what we're headed up for. And question-wise, it's probably worth saying, like, is wisdom one of the things that we actually seek? And I would say that it's typical, certainly for modern American Christians, not all of them, of course, that wisdom isn't really a category. It's the kind of thing that we might say vaguely that we would want, but I don't really know very many people who actually seek wisdom, which is one of the things that Proverbs says is get wisdom. It's more important than, more valuable than gold. It's more important, more valuable than gems. That wisdom itself, which in many cases in the book of Proverbs is personified as a woman who's giving out gold. I don't know that it's something that we generally seek. I think for one thing is that wisdom feels to us as if it is relative, like your wisdom may not be my wisdom, and who knows what's going on there. But I think that the Christian perspective has to be that wisdom is both attainable, right? We serve a God that we must believe rewards those who seek Him, and that it's real, that it's not just sort of like relative to what's going on in the day. Now that said, wisdom, even just giving Proverbs, does require study. It's not the kind of thing like you read an owner's manual and everything A plus B equals C and it works. Wisdom is an art form. It's the ability to say, like, do you answer a fool according to his folly or not? And those two verses are right next to each other. One says, absolutely, according to his folly, you got to talk to fools or they'll just keep running their mouths. Right next to it is like, don't ever answer a fool because it's a waste of your time. And so it really requires us to walk with that art form of these are all ways in which the world works, the spirit world, the physical world, the world of animals, finances, everything. And that God has something to say about all these things, that He cares about these aspects of our lives in such a way that He has actual input. We are not going into the wisdom itself, sort of the like reading Proverbs, but rather understand their nature so that they become the kind of thing that can feed us well into our lives and well around our whole Christian walk. So with that, I'm going to introduce you then to the three videos from Bible Project, and I'll see you on the backside. Bye-bye.